In today's video, I'm going to be filling in this pothole on this blacktop driveway using two products that I've never used before. So that should be fun. But I tell you what we're not gonna do, and that is we are not gonna be using cold patch on this and getting our hands dirty with tar. But this should be fun and it should be quick and easy, so let's get right into it. So even though this video is sponsored by RapidSet, we're still gonna have some fun because we are gonna be using the only two products that RapidSet has that I haven't used. So this will be a fun journey for us to go on together. But we're gonna be using the RapidSet Asphalt Repair Mix for the deep stuff, and then we're going to resurface it with the RapidSet Asphalt Resurfacer to tie everything in for the thin stuff. Now my favorite thing about both of these products is that they're both polymer modified, so we don't have to use any kind of bonding primer to bond to existing asphalt, which is a very big deal because nothing bonds to existing asphalt. My other favorite thing is that this is a cementatious material, so this is not a petroleum base or an oil base, so we're not gonna have to use like paint thinner cleanup or acetone cleanup, just soap and water. But we are still gonna be able to drive on this after 2 hours. So this pothole right here has been a nuisance for years. It collects water and dirt collects here, and it's just a pain in the butt. So we lucked out because since this is about 2 inches deep, we can go ahead and fill this area in with the asphalt repair mix, because the asphalt repair mix goes from 2 inches all the way up to 24 inches deep. Now any thinner than this, then we would want to cut this section out with a concrete saw, dig this out, and then we could go ahead and fill it in with repair mix. But we're not going to get into any of that today. We're just going to go nice, easy, and simple, fill this in, feather the edges out best we can, and go over it with the resurfacer to tie it all in. But just like with anything else, we gotta make sure that the area is clean, free of loose debris, free of paint, free of grease, oils and greases, and all that other stuff. Make sure that nothing will inhibit this bond. So I'm gonna start with a pressure washer. After pressure washing, it looks like I encountered a little bit more loose debris than I bargained for, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these chunks. Alright, now I've got this all cleaned up, got rid of all the loose bits, but before we proceed to the next step of the repair, I've got to wait for all this standing water to recede. We don't want to make this repair with a bunch of standing water because it'll dilute our mix. So once these puddles go away, we can proceed. Alright, the water has receded. We are all ready to mix. I've also taped off the areas that I don't want to get any asphalt repair mix on. I like to use duct tape kind of like a painter's tape. And at this point, for some reason, my mic decided to die on me in this shot. So don't worry, you're not missing much. All I'm really letting you guys know is that I'm mixing a full 50-pound bag, and each bag requires about 2 3/4 all the way up to 3 1/4 quarts of water. Just don't do what I did and put the product in the bucket first before the water. Make sure to always put the water in the bucket first before the product. You're gonna get a much more consistent mix this way. Also, I ended up using about 3 quarts of water, and I came out with a great consistency with that amount of water. At this point, I'm pretty happy with myself that I got such a great consistency, and decided to go ahead and try it out. This stuff really is very easy to work with, and it is very much like working with a concrete mix. I think that's as far as I'm going to go with this spot. I definitely could wait a few more minutes for this to set up just a little bit so that I could take my steel trowel, go over it, and make it very smooth. but I don't want to do that since I'm going to go over it with another product. Right now I want to keep this texture to give the Resurfacer something to bite onto, something to grab onto. As far as the edges are concerned, I can't really feather those out much more than that because of that pea gravel size aggregate. We will blend this in much better with the Resurfacer. I am going to try to feather these edges a little bit with the damp sponge, just to see. Not bad. I mean, not bad for a concrete mix consistency. Let's go do this on the other repair. I mean, as far as a concrete mix consistency goes, that's not bad. But, yeah, we're really not getting anywhere with feathering the edges, so I'm not going to bother anymore. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let this set up, and then we're going to go ahead and go over all this with the concrete resurfacer and tie this all in. And if everything goes well, we won't even know this repair is even there. By the way, cleanup is so awesome. I'm just cleaning everything up with water, not mineral spirits. And as you saw, we didn't have to use a tamper. And of course, as usual, I would just like to take a second to thank my patrons for their continued support. You guys are awesome. All right, so everything's set up and ready to go, and now we're ready to do the resurfacer. I've also prepped the area by taping it off so I can get some nice clean lines. We're gonna cross this bridge when we get to it, but at the end, if I feel like I want to go ahead and blend those with the sponge, I might. We'll see when we get there. Now, by all means though, we could leave this like this. We could be done with this project. I want to blend this in better, and there's still some dips that I want to get rid of that are thinner than that 2 inches that I can take care of with the resurfacer. So I can not only get rid of some of those dips and inconsistencies, I can also make this look a little prettier, make it blend more, makes the patchwork blend more. But had that been the plan to just leave this as is, I definitely could have smoothed the surface out way more with that steel trowel. I wanted it to stay textured to accept the resurfacer. Alright, so the stats on this stuff, I'm told that this acts quite a bit like the Rapid Set Nucrete and their resurfacer. A couple different things though. The aggregate is bigger. There are pebbles in here. It's like Nucrete with rocks and color. So we can't quite get this to an exact feather edge, but it does go 1/8 of an inch all the way up to 2 inches thick on its own. But the cool thing I found out is you can extend this up to 24 inches if you add a pea gravel aggregate to it, which is pretty cool. By all means, I probably could have done this whole project just with the resurfacer, but that's just the way this one went. Each 25-pound box covers up to like a third of a cubic foot of area. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix the whole box. Each box requires about 2 to 3 quarts of water. So I'm going to do about 2.5 quarts of water, see what we get. And again, I should have put the water in the bucket first. I'm definitely liking the consistency of 2.5 quarts for sure. Alright, let's try this out. Now, I'm told that we can apply this just like Nucrete with a squeegee, but with Nucrete, I usually finish it off with a broom texture, but I'm told that I'm going to want a loop roller or a textured roller to finish this off. I'm hoping that I can get away without doing that, but I did buy a textured loop roller just in case. Just like with any resurfacer, you just push and pull the product around to apply it. And it's doing that with ease. Very easy with the squeegee. Alright, that is about as pretty as I can make it with the squeegee. At this point, it's not set up enough for me to take a trowel to it or to take a broom finish to it. It's a bit too gummy at this point with all the polymers in it. So I'm gonna let it set up for about maybe 10 more minutes. By the way, you've got about 20 minutes working time with this stuff. You can drive on it in 2 hours, depending on temperatures. But I am already starting to see that I might be needing that loop roller. Alright, so I'm testing out troweling it just to see if I can get a nice smooth finish on it. Since there is polymers in it, it's just, I think it's just too sticky to get a nice smooth finish. We could get a flat finish maybe, but I don't think this product is really meant to trowel out and get nice and smooth. So I want to try out the broom finish and see where we get with that. It's not too bad. I think I waited a little bit too long for the broom texture, unfortunately. So I think we're gonna try out the loop roller and see where that gets us. Oh yeah, I can already tell that's way better. All right, so I am going to remove the tape before this completely sets up. That looks really good. I'm happy with this. Now, do I try to feather the edges to make it blend more? That's the thing. At this point I don't want to because it looks so nice and clean, and it makes sense being nice and clean, if that makes sense. But there's that part of me that just wants to know if I can. Let's try here in this corner. Inconspicuous corner. It's not too bad. It does feather. I still don't know if I want to. It's gonna feather it a little. I'm gonna meet myself halfway. I'm gonna feather just a little bit, but then I still get to keep that nice sharp line. I know, what's the point, right? I don't know, guys. I'm just making it up as I go. All right, well, that's all there is to it. This was very, very easy, and even though this is a sponsored video by Rapid Set, I truly enjoyed working with this product, or both of these products. I feel like they're fantastic. I feel like I'm so happy that they are here because working with Cold Patch sucks. I don't know if you've ever worked with Cold Patch before, but it sucks. It was very easy to mix, it was easy to work with, cleanup was super easy, and I could have gotten an even better finish out of this had I not screwed around with testing other finishes. I definitely could have feathered the edges more, but I just didn't want to. But I think the surface turned out fantastic. I think the color is definitely fantastic. Also, you cannot see the reconstruction of those dips and voids that I did prior to this at all. Yes, obviously you can tell that this was a patch, but if you did the entire driveway, you would never know. In case you're wondering why I only did this one spot, this is my sister's driveway. This is the way she wanted me to do it. So unfortunately, I couldn't do any more than that. That's what the boss wanted. But I'm very happy with this product. I highly recommend it. If you have a project like this coming up, absolutely grab the Rapid Set Repair Mix or the Rapid Set Resurfacer. I think you're gonna love it. With that being said, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.